Hi, this is our Sustainable Energy System Solution Proposal for Assignment Task 2 of Designing Sustainable Engineering Projects.
The project addresses the challenge of designing a cost-effective, sustainable energy system for rural property in Wooton, NSW, balancing technical feasibility, environmental impact, economic considerations, and the client's unique requirements. Key climate requirements include variable energy requirements, considerations of nearby government protected land, and nearby robust energy storage, a prioritization in low emissions and economic viability that must be upheld in the system. The SES must reconcile with these environmental, economic, and technical restraints to deliver an optimal solution.
We looked at numerous approaches to designing the client's grid, such as solar, wind, and batteries. And we considered the environmental constraints of the area, such as wind speed and sun exposure, and in conjunction with taking into account the impact of the climate, as well as the initial short term and long term costs um, with relationship to rebates and tariffs that can bring down these costs. We believe we've come up with three solutions for the client. A theoretical system can be seen on the slide. This is just relating a solar and battery system with the constraints that follow it. And our solutions are as follows.
With the constraints and opportunities, three design options have been proposed. The first option is to stay grid connected only. It is a do-nothing solution that only utilizes the client's current connection with the electricity grid for power. The second option will be solar panels with grid connection. A 10 kilowatt solar system will be powering the house under good solar exposure, and the grid will supply power during low sunlight periods. The solar feed-in tariffs will enable the clients to sell the extra power generated with the solar panels to the grid. The third option is to have a 10 kilowatt solar system with batteries to store the energy. The system is designed to have the ability to go off-grid, but we recommended that the clients to stay grid connected as a backup power option and be able to sell the extra power to the grid. A life cycle cost analysis is used to analyze the net present value of a 25-year life cycle period. With an annual inflation of 5%, the result of this analysis showed that although option 1 has the lowest initial cost, it will cost the client the most in the long run. On the other hand, option 3, the solar panels with batteries option, has the highest initial cost but will have the best NPV. The LCC analysis showed that option 3 is the best choice from an economic perspective.
Hi guys, my name's Monty. I'm just going to give a quick overview of the LCA, whose goal it is to compare the environmental benefits of the three systems. Our main discovery was that even with the exclusion of end-of-life recycling and material reclamation, solar PV and battery had the lowest emissions level of 84 grams CO2 per kilowatt hour. There is other pollution that's worth noting qualitatively. However, it's hard to quantify, and we can consider that the fossil fuel alternative is much greater. The efficiency of future recycling processes are not known, but we can assume that the emissions impact of option 3 will certainly be at least as low as 84 grams CO2 per kilowatt hour.
So now for our multi-criteria decision analysis. Basically, this method helps weigh different factors to make complex choices using criteria. We considered our three options as discussed before, which is the grid connected with solar panels, and then the solar panels with battery storage as our third option. We evaluated these based on economic, practical, technical, environmental, and social criteria, with economic factors like cost given the highest importance. Each option was scored. For example, grid connection had low initial costs but high long-term expenses, while solar with batteries had the opposite. Our results showed that while all systems improved across criteria, battery storage significantly boosted the practical technical score. This confirms our cost analysis, which indicated that despite higher upfront costs, battery systems can become more cost-effective over time. Ultimately, MCDA highlights the balance between initial investment and long-term value, with the ideal choice depending on individual homeowner properties.
After evaluating different energy options, we found that the best solution for the Woonton property is a 10 kilowatt solar panel system with 5 batteries. The client average use is 25.21 kilowatt per hour daily with peak usage up to 53.81 kilowatt per hour. Each battery can store up to 9.6 kilowatt per hour, so with 5 batteries the system provides around 48 kilowatt per hour of storage, enough to stay off-grid for up to 2 full days. This setup gives the client energy independence, reliability, and is eco-friendly. However, the drawbacks are the high initial cost of around $47,500 and fire hazard if it's not installed properly. And the system can last up to 20 years with solar panels lasting up to 25 years and battery lasting up to 10 years with a low maintenance cost of just $399 every 10 years. This shows the longevity of the system. Now, looking at the table, we can see that the high upfront cost of the solar panel can be discouraging towards the user. However, over a 25 years period, the NPV of the solar panel plus battery is only around $49,306.59. But on the other hand, we can see that the NPV of the grid connected is 163,485.93. Even though it has no upfront cost, but in the long run, it will cost the client more as we projected a 5% increase of energy price every year. Therefore, solar panel system with battery has the long-term cost-effective choice for the client from an economic standpoint.